we had a quick question on rankings. We were we still ended up taking averages
Okay,
across.
that's fine.
Wait, why is there a copy of New Group One? Wait, what is? Oh, right. I'm not. That's my bad. Aha. Okay. So we ranked them accordingly. So
Okay.
we got the weighted emissions, and
And
then
this
we
is ranked
just
in the other direction? No, this is ranked which, yes, other direction. Okay. Right? Which way are you ranked? Show me the ranks again.
so number one is most weighted emission,
So this is the ranking of the thing that has the highest emission per job.
weighted.
Weighted. Yeah.
Yes. We did end up averaging them,
Okay.
kind of to see which chemical came out on top.
Okay.
But as we were averaging, especially because for this group right here, business and financial operations,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one chemical that exists in this whole thing, which is
Oh,
this one,
well,
which means everything else is ranked two because we have number one and we give the highest rank to
yeah.
the remaining ones.
Oh,
So we were I was kind of thinking, why don't we just not put a value in
right. That makes sense. If it's a
and
zero, it's
then,
basically a zero.
right.
Yeah. So you can give
So,
zeros to where there's nothing.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't change our standings much. It's still the same top five chemicals, but
Okay.
it is okay. Yeah, that was my question. I
Yeah,
wasn't
that seems
sure if
fine.
that's
Totally fine. Yeah. I
all
hadn't
right.
even thought of that particular um, pitfall, but that's a perfect way to handle it.
Sweet. That's great. Okay. Wait, so then that kind of makes me ask group two, when you guys did your average ranks, how did it come out? Because I feel like it looks like I put the right one in. Does that change your rankings? Or should I do it? Is someone doing it? What's happening?
I'm doing it right now.
All right, thank you. So I guess I could share what else we've been doing, what we did yesterday. So you got our top five occupation groups for group one because they were looking at total emissions.
Yep.
But since we were looking within going through the chemicals for each job for group two and three, we got the top five chemicals instead. And I think where's the group one document? They did actually you guys could explain this better than I did because I might skim over something. So, but we did some very basic analysis of, oh, this chemical shows up here how many times or something like that. And that was yesterday. Yes. And now we have but before this, I guess I kind of want to wait for group two so no one's like lagging behind.
So this is good. So you should write up your findings for the three groups
Mm-hmm.
and your methods.
True, yes. While it's fresh in our minds.
That's right. It only gets harder.
We get different chemicals when we delete like all those zeros.
Can
Like
you
we get
can you volume up, Sophia?
oh, we get different chemicals from what we did like yesterday if we delete all like the zeros.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be a good thing. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I know. That means you have a bit more accurate, hopefully, results. Which is great because group two and three had really similar results yesterday. Maybe it'll be a little different today. Oh, it looks like one
No,
chemical
more
change.
similar. I think it's very similar, group two and group three.
Well, I mean, it might be less similar than yesterday.
Oh, you
Yesterday
changed
was
it.
like a few standings. Yeah, but we can look into this more later, when we eventually get to this. All right, we'll have to think about the difference.
I think that, yeah, you should think about the difference, write up the methods, and that might help you see, oh, right, because we did it by chemical here and frequent, basically you did it group two, you did it by frequency, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Well, no,
no.
not really. Yeah, but anyway, when you write it up, you'll be able to,
Hmm.
you'll see the difference between what you did very easily, I'm sure, and be able
Hope yes.
to say why it's different.
Hmm.
Number 3 is the frequency, right, Jen?
Yes. All right. Maybe it's okay. You guys can deal with this statement. I don't know if it's so
Yeah, observation.
relevant, but okay. So I was able to get the demographics, kind of. So I kept the 35 jobs that we did them in.
Okay.
We could have done 150, but then I didn't for my sanity, and I didn't think we needed that detail,
Yeah, fair.
as you can tell by my please no. I could not do that. But so I was able to get the races, and the races. So basically, this tab we have uses S24010 table. It's literally the same thing as B24010, which is where we get the race variants or the table variants for race.
Hmm.
It's just the B24010 period without any letters after it. But it's like the comprehensive one is the one with the 150,
Okay.
but S24010, which is also comprehensive, uses 35, and I checked the numbers, so it should be good. But so this total section comes from the S24, the S table, but the rest come from variants of B tables. Yes, that's where I'm at. I made things a little easier to read. Oh, we should note our gambling and sports book writers and runners, they're actually in business and financial operation occupations. But since they got booted out, we're just gonna bring them up to the next closest category, which is management, business, and financial occupations. I don't think it's a problem, but I did make note of it here
Hmm.
that we have to move this, because if we don't want to move this, I would have to go and fill this out for everyone, but when we get to demographics anyway, we won't have this detailed data.
I guess the question is, do you think that those two, I mean, I guess that's like a combining upward, but I think that management,
Mm-hmm.
business, and financial occupations are really different than people who are, I mean, like, what was the gambling? I mean, that is a really low level job.
It is.
I don't even really know what, I mean, like, that's like something out of the 1930s. Um, right? I mean, I don't even know who these people are. But they're not management. I will say that. So I'm not sure what to tell you about that one. Like, I get that you might just say, yeah, I mean, like, these are the people that are in the kiosk next to the horse racing track.
Maybe you can just stick them in service
I
then.
think they'd be way closer to service. What are our other options? We got service, sales, and related. Oh, you could maybe put them in sales and related. You've got gambling change persons. Do we know what a gambling cage worker is? Did anybody figure that out?
We did look it
Yeah,
up.
they can change it to, that there are some chips and then give them a chips and then,
Oh, I would put them with those people. I think that that's who they're like. They're more like other people gambling people because they're going to work in the same environments. That's what I would do. God, your poor Google is going to be like,
Oh, that makes.
I was thinking like cage match, cage worker, which really made
Mm-hmm.
no sense at all. Okay. Funky. Well, I would put the whatever the other, what were they, gambling runners? I would put them for that too. Sportsbook writer, yeah. Because they're the people making the odds, right? So they sort of are similar, but they're basically office workers, right?
Right.
Yeah, I would put them with that group. Because that's the,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's a domino effect though. Okay.
Uh-oh, why? What happens?
We lose. Wait a minute. Maybe it's not a problem. Is it a problem?
Well, remember,
Let's
you're
see.
probably not going to get any high level.
No, we just have to add
Oh, because you
this
have to then
one.
update this. Yep. Well, that is how it goes.
It's okay.
It is.
It shouldn't swap anything much anyways, but
It probably won't.
also
Yeah.
these resorts.
There was a no toxication
Okay, wait a minute.
yeah,
Once
so it'll
first.
be fine.
Alright, that is definitely on top of the list type of thing. I don't know if that changes.
Sorry.
No, this is great because that means I don't have to deal with this ever.
Right. It makes sense. You don't have anybody getting paid a lot of money.
I'm so happy to see it go. Okay, that's great. That means I don't need these. I think then this is for just everyone in general. I know there's a lot of like out of our 35 jobs here, there's a lot of blank ones, but I personally think we should keep them even if they're zeros, or maybe you can just
What do you mean that there, why are there blank ones?
because I mean like when we have our actual database here,
Yeah.
we only well not even for these, but we only kept wait I forget. It looks like we kept only the ones we had, but a few. So like the groups we put into our database
Mm-hmm.
are a subset of the actual 35 jobs because not
Oh,
all
Well,
of them are filled out.
Jean,
But
go to the first step, then it shows.
no, no, it's still not 35.
Yeah.
and is that because you just didn't finish filling it out or because they didn't have exposures?
It was some criteria Sophia used. I'm sorry, Sophia, I forget already. I know it was yesterday, but yeah, I think I'm gonna just honestly redo it because these are also out of order. And we just want to keep things pretty similar so that when we maybe go in here to do and also look at the demographics, it's not too bad.
Well, it seems like you're well on your way. I mean, now you can answer questions like which chemical is the most chemical of most concern for the most people, and which chemical is the highest concern for men, which is the highest concern for women, and then you can just, you know,
Go by the
go from
races.
there. You can go look at like white women, white men, black men. I mean, all of it could
hmm
be very interesting. And the order in which you see people exposed to, you know, like if you looked at just total emissions, like total chemicals exposed, like how much of that, who's the group that, if you broke into male and female and by every race, and what's the group that has the highest exposure? Like, I mean, that's very interesting and very much within the scope of what you've compiled. So I think that's great.
Yes.
To the surprise of no one, all the gambling cage workers are in Nevada.
Wait, okay. Um, alright, I think then another thing we should do is resort the groups in our new database so that they reflect. Wait, Sophia, do you mind saying telling us what your criteria was for these two? Like which jobs you chose to keep and which ones you didn't?
Like for um the emission row, I just put in like the smallest jobs that are in like the resorting groups. Like
Alright,
I put in
thanks.
all like the jobs in the white background, and if there was no white background, got like the second, like this, that's kind of like sky blue shade.
Mm-hmm.
And like for resort emission, it only uses like the sky blue shades.
Alright, okay. This might be sucky, might be annoying, but I'll do this. I'm gonna have these all, like just have all 35 groups included, and we'll just have a bunch of zeros. And they're really easy to spot, the ones that have actual emissions, so we'll do it that way. Or is that unnecessary? I just feel like it'll be easier to read. Do we have opinions? Do we think it's necessary? Or we can just keep the ones that have assignments to them. Or am I not making sense?
I mean, I think
You're
you don't have to keep the ones that you didn't do assignments as long as you still have a group that is cohesive. You know, like these are the lowest 10% or whatever.
Oh, random thought. We could look at the lowest 5% within the 10%. Okay. Then we'll just get rid of the 0 columns. Make sure these are kind of in order and call it a day. Which sounds great to me. So we'll edit database to keep the jobs. Keep only assigned groups. And I have something for us as a team too. So we can get percentage data, right? So, well, okay, so for percent male, it's pretty simple. So it's gonna be, but because we're gonna be using this for now. So when we do percent male white values, do we want to have them be like within just the white race, or want to be them as a part of total? Because it changes how we can read those values.
What do you mean?
Because we can say male white, we can be like we can have them divided by the total white
Oh,
alone.
percent, when you're doing percents.
Or we could do them by total male or total like
You aren't going to like this answer, but it depends on what the question is you're asking. So if
that
you,
is so true.
yeah, I mean, like if you're looking at like every combination of white alone male, white alone female, black alone male, black alone female, blah, 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 then you would want to divide by the total.
Mhm.
If you were looking at just men versus women, you would want to divide by the total. If you wanted to know which group of men were the highest exposed by percent, like by proportion, you could maybe divide it by just the males, but I'm not sure that would ever matter because it wouldn't track together if it's about 50-50. I guess you could, like if it's a male dominated workforce in a particular job by a lot, and then
Oh, then we can.
like black women do it too, then that might be weird. You could get a weird result if you didn't break it out by gender. So I think it just depends on what you're looking at. And it might be, if your question is what's the worst job, most highly burdened job for men, then men would be your total, and you'd look across races. And then if it was what's the worst job for women, then women would be your total and you'd look across races. But if you were like, what's the worst job for everybody, you'd look across the total. So I think it just depends on what you're asking.
Then, wait, did everyone catch that? The gist?
I don't
Uh,
get it. I didn't get it.
Not fully.
Okay.
I think I could ask this in a different way. Are we confident in do we feel confident in being able to calculate different percentages given what we want to answer? So if we want to find what percent male white people are out of total, we know where to divide that number from. Cause there's a difference between doing male white alone divided by total white alone compared to
Oh, yeah,
looking at male white
Yeah, I get it.
among, yeah. So that means when we split up entire groups and go to do our analysis analysis, we can just play with the numbers as we want, but while not feeling like we don't know what we're doing. So I'm gonna just get rid of these percent columns because they clutter stuff up. And in each of our own groups, we can pick the numbers we need from here to use them as we need. So we're good with this. With having to go do our own data stuff or percentage numbers.
And I think it might be interesting also just to look, when you're looking at your percentage numbers, like if there is gender and race clustering in certain jobs. I mean, it's interesting, right?
Dr. Knows, what do you mean by clustering certain jobs?
Well, just like if you're looking at all your jobs and one job's got like 80% Native American men, that's a surprise. So like you could look what it is, like you could imagine that over, I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's demographically interesting who does what job. Like,
Mm.
would you expect, and you could even jot down yourselves like what you might expect beforehand just to see, like sort of like mini hypothesis testing, just like for yourself and for fun. Like, what of your jobs do you think is going to be the most held by,
White dominated.
which ones are going to be the most white dominant? 'Cause these are all low paying jobs, right? So like, it's not like there's as much of an economic, there is an economic piece to it. Like, and does the other thing you could look at, is this California or is this national?
Yep,
California.
California only.
You could just like pull the very basic California demographics, like how many people are there between 16 and 65, whatever the number is that is the working, or just over 16 total. Or you could look at the total working population, just like yeah, like that, the civilian population employed, and see on average, like which of your jobs look like that. Like there's obviously a percent there of percent male that are working and percent female that are working. If everything were equal and everybody were equally sorted into every job, then those numbers would be identical, right? In every job, in every category, the percentages would be identical. Like if the workforce has 70% white males, then you'd expect 70% white males in every job. If everybody worked, it was equally likely to work in the same job. But there's no way you're going to see that. But I don't know what you're going to see. Like I don't have the answer. I'm not holding here, but you may see that the low income population is more non-white or less non-white than you expected. So like I think it's interesting, just the pure demographics of who it is that's in those bottom categories for earning amount. It's just sort of like a result that is like you've already taken a specific chunk of the population, and it may be that chunk of the population already has a certain race and gender distribution. And so knowing what that is and how it differs from the general population or the full population of workers is just interesting to know. So like if you find in your group that Asian men are the most exposed to something, that's true in this population, but you could then, one of your comments might be in your discussion, like, that's true in this group, but actually only 15% of Asian men in the workforce are in these jobs. And so it's unlikely that this is like the hugest problem for all Asian men or something like that. Like, but it's just another way of thinking about the demographics. Like if it looks like the general population, the general workforce demographics, or if it looks different.
So
Speaking
we're
of
gonna
that,
we're gonna state the characteristic of the group.
right, but there's so many ways to state the characteristics by comparing it to a different group, which can be like anything. So I
Yeah,
think in it, mhm.
but let's do that the basic, the like like ages and race and sex. Yeah, basic first.
First, I'm just putting this out there. I don't think we can get age.
That's fine.
Like sex and race might be the best we can work with. Otherwise, otherwise you might need to really start extrapolating into like assumptions.
Okay.
I think start with race and sex and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot there.
Mm-hmm. And I think it wouldn't hurt for us to do exploratory of just like write down the basics. Like we can write down there's a total of this, and of the total population in Cali, this percent is white, this percent is like black, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, I mean, I think
And
you should take it. I don't know how you're going to split it up, but you should take the things and think of each finding. Like when you do something, like you have to do it for the chemicals that you've already done, like those 3 analyses. But then when you start working on the demographics, like you said, like you can say the proportion of white men in the overall working population is X, but the percentage of white men in the bottom 15% of the jobs by wage is Y, you know, so like that's interesting. Like, I mean, you're not going to produce like a really in-depth demographics paper, but like it's still something to look at, like, and to characterize your workforce.
How do we feel about this? Does this kind of make sense? Because we're gonna need to do this all like when we separate into groups. Others, like Sophia, Joel.
Richard, you are following, so you kind of get it overall what we are doing?
We're just adding age to the group thing, no? Or not age, sorry, sex.
Yeah, yeah, well, we're gonna just yeah, we're gonna get into what kind of sex and then race. Okay, let's get to it.
Wait, no, we can't just jump into this. We need like one team looking at demographics. We need another team go in and fix a database. Because
Yeah,
there are a few
yeah,
problems.
that's why we have to write it down in the Google Doc, which team is what we're gonna do. So that's what I said. Let's write it down.
Like for the database, I already edited because there was like only one chemical for that job, so like it was really easy to move things around.
So where is it?
Like the new database you see is already edited.
So did you just did you alright, what do you have to do to fix this? Add the summations and the frequencies to their respect, like you added that you added what would have been in business and financial. You would have added that to office administrator support occupation, so you added the summations
Yeah.
and the frequencies.
There's
And
only one chemicals.
right, okay. Did you get rid of the jobs that we weren't gonna look at?
Yeah, those are in like resort emission by like row and column.
You got rid of the ones like we're not looking at? I still see them. So,
Uh,
alright, no,
we
let's
also
first. Okay, wait a minute. I don't want this to start getting too cluttered. I think we can get rid of emission row and emission column. Like, did you update these two? Because I'm gonna get
Yeah,
rid
I
of one
updated
of the
those
emission
two.
or resource emission.
Yeah,
And
she did.
and we're going to I want to get rid of one of them because we don't need two. We should have 11 total for our groups. So I'm going to get rid of these like that and this. And I'm going to get rid of the resort because are we okay with this?
I think it's resort is most updated, right, Sophia?
They're like both updated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we don't need the resorts anymore. Did you get rid of the resort emission call?
No,
Wait, that was so weird. It just deleted itself. And then here we gotta get rid of. Right, what else did I say we needed to do? So that should be 11. Yep. Okay. All right. Could, are these in order? They look like they're in order.
yeah, those are in order.
All right. Then I think database is good. We do need to check if the groups. Wait, do you remember what chemical the gambling attendants had, the writers?
Ethylene oxide.
Oxide?
Yeah.
Oh. Does that come up? It doesn't. It's a probably does not make a difference. But if the different groups can still go in and update it to just double check that nothing changes in your rankings, that you need to do. So the database is fine now. So, okay, I think for now then, we'll just take 10 minutes for their different groups to go in and double check the rankings for our respective groups. Is that okay? All right, I think that's the plan then.
Okay, and so you guys are on your own now. You don't need me.
Yes, I think we're all
Yeah,
good for
I
now.
think we are good.
Okay, Great. Enjoy.
Uh,
And don't forget to
Um,
write up your methods and results.
just minutes. When they're, Helen, can you send Dr. Knows me and the breakout room for 3 minutes? That we're gonna do that because you guys will be breakout room too.
Okay.
All right. Wait, yeah, we can work here, or we could. Do we want to go into breakout rooms to work with our groups, or I think we should just go into breakout rooms if you could sort that out, hon. All right. So yeah, hope you guys had much more progress than we did because we ran into some roadblocks. But basically, I'm thinking we don't need to meet tomorrow as a group. So, well, as like a giant group. Because what we need to have done is this might not be much, but basically we want to have so I want us to have like somewhat of a methods. Just write out what you did, or especially like getting your top fives. So within your group's documents, just have a method section where you have words about what you did, and then observations and blah blah blah. So we want to have our analysis on demographics up to demographics by Monday. So that means we don't have to meet as a giant group tomorrow. The groups can coordinate within the groups to decide on a time that works better. But yeah, by Monday, all we want are have your group's methods written out, what you did, as if like we're going on methods section, and just have some like findings for your demographics. It can be words if you want. You can have like charts if you see fit, tables, whatnot. But yeah, and then we'll just come together on Monday, share our findings, and maybe we can bounce ideas off or kind of play off of more things. And some things to keep an eye, like I feel like group one's done a lot so far compared to the other groups, like analysis wise. So I think also like looking into like the Prop 65 elements, like carcinogens, developmental, reproductive, could also be an interesting avenue to like look into, even though it's not demographics. So like just go explore your data, see what's cool, what's unique, what stands out. And that's it. And we'll meet back on Monday.
So Jin, so what you just show is in the demographic because I cannot pull out the demographic analysis Google Doc. This is what you show is that what you show is where we can find it. Can you put that in?
Oh, group 3?
This is only group 3?
Yeah, it's all over here and editable for everyone.
Right.
So yeah, group 3 will have our docs, group 1 has their own doc and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's a method. You said it's a put in the method. So can
Oh
you
yeah,
copy, put it in that Google Doc?
like this
Yeah, method. Method. Just write it down method and then observation and roll that what to do.
and demographics here.
Because they're our assignment. Yeah. And then put in today's date. So tomorrow you guys didn't finish it, then you can make your own group work arrangement and then all finish up and then just please bring all that methods and result and your observation. Write it down in the Google Doc or you can present and put it in there or whatever or your own group spreadsheet. And then we're gonna meet on Monday. Dr. Nas will Monday.
Was that the 8th, 17th? We don't meet Friday. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, great.
Right? Any questions before we go? If anything comes up, feel free to text me. I'll do my best to get back as soon as I can.